It's safe to say that for most people, unfortunately, stress is a huge part of our everyday life. It is our body's natural reaction to these circumstances and the demands of our world. But chronic stress can have a huge negative impact on both our mental and our physical health. So today we are going to talk about what some of these negative consequences actually are, and I will offer 10 strategies on how to best manage and alleviate stress as soon as possible. Stick around. Welcome back. My name's Nena and I'm a life coach that specializes in personal development. Here at this channel we talk all about our emotional well-being, understanding our own psychology, and leading our best life possible. So if you aren't already a subscriber, please take a moment and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected. Stress can be defined as a feeling of emotional strain or pressure, like there isn't enough of us to go around, or we're not going to be able to handle everything that we have to do or everything that is happening all around us. It's actually a form of psychological pain. I think we've become so accustomed to dealing with stress that we don't give it the attention that it oftentimes deserves. Many times we wait until we are completely stressed out and we can barely function before we start to really take action, which can mean that we are living in a state of chronic stress and survival mode pretty much all of the time. And although our body is fantastic at giving us warning signs, we are also fantastic at ignoring them. So I just wanted to quickly go over some of the emotional, physical, and cognitive symptoms that are associated with stress. So for the emotional symptoms, we might feel that, for example, we are overwhelmed or that we don't have any control over our life. We may feel low self-esteem. We may feel bad about ourselves. We might feel lonely or even worthless. We may feel more easily frustrated or moody or agitated. We may have a desire to avoid other people or have more personal space. And a lot of times we will find it nearly impossible to relax or to actually get some sleep. Now, some of the physical symptoms that we may experience from stress includes headaches. It includes stomach aches, nervousness or shaking, frequent colds or infections, rapid heartbeat, muscle tension or pain, loss of sexual desire, and low energy. And lastly, we also experience cognitive symptoms, and some of these might be impaired judgment, a lack of feeling that we are in control of our life, having a negative mindset or being more pessimistic, having an inability to focus, racing thoughts, disorganization, forgetfulness, and of course, as you can imagine, feeling constantly worried. Now, there's actually a lot of things that we can do to prevent chronic stress from happening, which is the topic of a future video that I will be releasing. But today I wanted to talk about what we can do once we are already experiencing the stress. So when we feel that tension is mounting or that pressure is mounting, here are 10 strategies that we can use to help us feel better right away. Now, the first thing that we can do is something that you may or may not actually be familiar with, and that is to watch or to listen to ASMR videos. Now, ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which is that kind of tingling sensation that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the back or the neck or the upper spine. Now, if you've never seen these videos, they may sound really weird to you, so you probably have to check them out for yourself, and they are all over YouTube. There's no short supply of them. But basically, it includes things like whispering or tapping or other types of things that really are intended to provoke this ASMR effect in someone. The new findings really do indicate that it can significantly reduce stress, anxiety, and even chronic pain. Now, this is kind of a new phenomenon that we are being aware of. In fact, it's only in 2010, I believe, that the term ASMR even came into being. So this is something that we are continuing to learn about. And it's something that I've only been aware of myself for probably about 6 months. I thought it was very strange when I heard about it. But once I actually started watching these videos, I found that for me, absolutely it relaxes me. I think it's the strangest thing, but it really is effective. So if you are feeling stressed out right now, that is something you can definitely check out after this video. The next thing we can do is to create and engage in a stress reduction ritual. So this is where we create some type of routine that we train the brain to associate with relaxation. So the second we start to engage in it, our body anticipates relaxation just by being given the cue that we are taking part in the ritual. Now this could literally be anything. It could be looking out the window and drinking tea. It could be a daily walk. It could be reading your favorite book. It could be meditating, whatever it is for you. And it does not even have to be orthodox. I have a client whose relaxation ritual is literally watching crime shows. Now she has 3 children under the age of 6 in addition to a teenager. So she really gets stressed out a lot of the time and definitely needs this relaxation ritual. So what she does is for, I think it's either 45 minutes or an hour a day, she has her teenager watch the 3 little ones. And she goes and she watches either Forensic Files or she watches, what's the other one? Snapped, I think. And again, we would not normally think of crime shows to be associated with relaxation, but she really set that up for her brain. So when she sits down and has that time for herself, she says that she immediately feels relaxed. As soon as she steps into the room and turns on the television, she immediately feels relaxed because she is giving her body that cue that it is part of our me time. This is our relaxation time. So you can think of what's going to work for you. Again, it does not have to be orthodox. Whatever you think that could be part of a relaxation routine is something that you can implement right away. Now, the third thing that we can do might be my favorite, and that is to get out in nature. It is easy and is free, and it is extremely effective at stress reduction. So the new studies have really found that even 10 minutes in a natural setting can make people feel happier and lessen the effects of both mental and physical stress. It actually lowers the heart rate and the feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. And believe it or not, they have also found, and I think I've mentioned this before, that even looking at pictures of nature can greatly reduce stress, believe it or not. And so can, for example, a house plant or something that is living, something that comes from outside. So always the best case scenario is actually going outside. But if that is not actually possible, then, having some sort of reminder of nature is also effective. The fourth thing that is proven to reduce stress is physical activity. And of course that can mean exercise, but it's not limited to exercise or what we traditionally think of as exercise. It could be dancing, it could be swimming, it could be yoga, but some type of physical activity. What physical activity really does is it reduces the levels of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. It stimulates productions of endorphins, which are our body's natural mood lifters and painkillers. Physical activity also helps reduce tension, it helps us sleep better, and it gives us an overall feeling of better well-being. The fifth thing that we can do is something that I also strongly identify with, and that is to listen to music that we enjoy. So music has a huge psychological effect and immediately connects us to happier, more positive thoughts and memories. Listening to music or playing a musical instrument can also lower blood pressure. It can decrease heart rate and significantly reduce stress. They found specifically that slower music or classical music and Celtic and even Native American music really ranked the highest for stress reduction. But anything that you personally associate with positive emotions is going to be beneficial for you. Now, the sixth thing is something that is going to make a lot of people happy, and that is to play with your pet. Now, if you are like me and you unfortunately do not have a pet but really love animals, you can play with someone else's pet, go to a pet store, or you can simply go outside and see all the animals that you can naturally find outside. But spending time with your pet and petting your pet especially has proven to have many, many positive effects on stress. It lowers blood pressure. It makes us feel less lonely. It encourages mindfulness because we are definitely in the moment when we are being with our beloved pets. It makes us laugh to be around them. And the bond that we have with these animals really increases the feeling of our own self-esteem and also feelings of safety and security. Now, the seventh thing that we can do is something that I actually practice every day, and that is meditation. And I'm going to actually lump in yoga with this because I feel that a lot of people actually use yoga as meditation. But what meditation can actually do is eliminate the stress that comes from having jumbled thoughts, and it helps us focus on the moment. It clears out our mental clutter and it helps us practice mindfulness. Even just 10 minutes of meditation a day can provide deep relaxation. It can lower our blood pressure and even our pulse. Now, the eighth technique for eliminating stress is something that I also frequently talk about in many videos, and that is to journal. Having some kind of self-growth or personal development journal, or just a place where you can dump out all of your negative feelings. You can also write down everything you need to do in one place. It allows you to self-reflect and inspires creativity. It's kind of a way to let your voice be heard even when you don't want other people to know what you are thinking or feeling, so you can really just get it out, and honestly, you immediately do feel better when you do this. Something that other people choose to do that is similar is actually to call someone or to visit someone to actually discuss these things in person. So you can either, write it down in your journal, or you can physically go and talk to someone, or, talk with them over the phone or whatever. But a lot of people feel that they really need to be validated, or that they, would like some sympathy during this time, or they find it just very relaxing to be able to share that experience with someone else, especially if it's someone that they really love and care about. The ninth thing that we can do to relieve stress probably comes as no surprise, and that is to laugh. Laughter is so important. It is literally like medicine, but a lot of times when we are going through very stressful situations, we forget entirely to laugh, or we don't have any time for experiences that allow us to have fun and to enjoy life and to laugh. So it's very important that we make laughter a priority, because it does have so many positive effects on our emotional well-being. It actually cools down our stress response, and it reduces a lot of tension. It also reduces a lot of the physical symptoms that are associated with stress, and obviously it improves our mood and increases our life satisfaction. A lot of times, again, we just get so busy that we forget to make it a priority. And in some situations, the best thing and the only thing we can do about the situation is to laugh. I love when a situation gets to the point where you can just laugh about it, where you realize that it's just gotten to this ridiculous point that we can't do anything about it, and you have that good, deep laugh. I love that feeling, and it always makes me feel a lot better. But if we're not quite to that point yet, doing things that are enjoyable and will make you laugh will definitely make you feel better. And the 10th strategy I wanted to share with you today is enormously effective, and that is to use deep breathing exercises. Countless studies have shown how impactful deep breathing can be for both our mental and physical health. So what's actually happening is that it allows for more carbon dioxide to enter our blood, which is what helps quiet down the parts of our brain that handle our anxiety response. There is just a ton of information you can find on the internet and right here on YouTube about deep breathing exercises. So if this is something that you have never looked into, I strongly suggest that you do, because not only is it one of the most effective methods for really managing stress, it really is one of the quickest ways. So if you feel that the stress is kind of pushing into anxiety and kind of even pushing into panic, these deep breathing exercises can really be a lifesaver. It's something that I've been doing for probably about 3 or 4 years now, and I really can't say enough about it. So definitely check that out if you have not done so already, and if you already know about it, it's something that you do want to start to implement whenever you feel that pressure starting to come into your life. So I truly hope that these 10 strategies help you relieve stress in your own life as quickly as possible so you can remain calm, focused, and even productive when the situations in your life feel that they are out of control. You can always kind of look back on these 10 techniques and implement them whenever you feel you need to use them. So I truly hope today's video was helpful to you, and if it was, please like it and share it with someone else who may need to hear the same message today. Also, again, if you aren't already a part of our community, please go ahead and become a subscriber. We definitely want you to stay connected, and I thank you so much for spending time with me today. Have an absolutely amazing day.